of the last voice in the house. The first night the voice spoke, it didn't sound like a ghost. It sounded tired. I had just moved into the house at the edge of Durgapur Road, an old two-story structure with peeling paint and a veranda that sagged like a tired spine. The realtor told me it had been empty for years. "Good for people who like quiet," she said. She didn't smile when she said it. I liked quiet. After my wife died, quiet was the only thing that didn't hurt. That night, rain tapped gently against the windows. I lay awake in bed, staring at the ceiling fan as it rotated in slow, uneven circles. Somewhere in the house, wood creaked. Old houses always talk to themselves, I told myself. Then I heard it, a whisper, soft, almost polite. "Is someone there?" I sat up. The voice came from downstairs, a man's voice, weak, hoarse, like he hadn't spoken in a long time. "Hello?" I called. Silence. I told myself it was my imagination. Grief has a way of replaying sounds that aren't there. I lay back down, heart still racing, and eventually sleep took me. The second night, the voice returned, clearer this time. "Please," it said, "don't turn the lights off." I was standing in the kitchen, the switch already halfway down. My hand froze. "Who's there?" I asked. No answer, just the low hum of the refrigerator. I checked every room. Nothing. No intruder, no open doors. The house felt empty in that unsettling way, like it was holding its breath. That night, I left all the lights on. By the fifth night, the voice had learned my name. "Arif," it whispered from the hallway. "You don't have to be alone." I dropped the glass I was holding. It shattered on the floor. I never told anyone my name. I searched the house again, more frantically this time. I checked the attic, the crawl space, even behind the walls where old houses hide their secrets. Nothing. But when I returned to the living room, the TV was on. Static filled the screen. Through the hiss, a faint voice struggled to emerge. "I can hear you breathing," it said. I unplugged the TV. The static continued. I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I sat on the couch with a knife in my hand, eyes locked on the dark hallway. Around 3:17 a.m., the voice spoke again, closer than ever. "Why won't you talk to me?" it asked. Not angry, hurt. "I don't know who you are," I said. My voice shook. A pause. Then, "I live here." The next day, I went to the local records office. The clerk, an old man with yellowed fingers, frowned when I gave him the address. "That place?" he said. "No one stays long." He pulled a dusty file and slid it across the desk. The previous owner's name was Mahmoud Rahman, age 42. Cause of disappearance? Unknown. "Disappearance?" I asked. The clerk nodded. "Vanished inside the house. Neighbors reported hearing him talk to himself for weeks, screaming at night, begging someone not to leave him." My mouth drew dry. "Did they find a body?" The clerk shook his head. "No, but they sealed one room. Basement. Said something was wrong with it." I drove home faster than I should have. The basement door was at the back of the house. I hadn't noticed it before. It was hidden behind a tall wardrobe, pushed tightly against the wall. My hands trembled as I moved the wardrobe aside. The door was covered in scratches from the inside. I touched the handle. "Please," the voice whispered right behind my ear, "don't open it." I spun around. Nothing. I opened the door. The basement smelled like damp earth and old fear. A single bulb flickered overhead. In the center of the room stood a full-length mirror, tall, cracked, and stained with dark handprints. The walls were covered in writing, dates, names, prayers, apologies, and one sentence repeated over and over: "Don't let it learn your voice." My reflection in the mirror looked wrong, slightly delayed. When I raised my hand, it followed a fraction too late. Then it smiled. I didn't. The reflection opened its mouth and spoke in my voice. I stumbled back, heart pounding. The other me in the mirror continued talking, lips moving independently. "It's cold here. You left me." The truth hit me like a physical blow. Mahmoud never disappeared. He was trapped. The house didn't want bodies. It wanted voices. That night, the house spoke constantly. From the walls, the floor, the ceiling. Sometimes it was Mahmoud, sometimes my wife, sometimes my own voice calling my name from another room. I covered my ears. It didn't help. At midnight, the mirror began knocking from below. Each knock echoed through the house like a heartbeat. "Switch with me," the voice begged, "just for a moment." I screamed no. The lights went out. I woke up on the basement floor. The mirror stood open like a doorway. Inside it, I saw the house, normal, quiet, and I saw myself upstairs making coffee, humming softly. I banged on the grass, screamed. No sound came out. The other me turned toward the mirror, smiled, and whispered, "Thank you for staying." Now I understand why the house was cheap, why it was quiet. I sit in the dark basement watching the world through a surface I can't cross. I've tried screaming, crying, praying. The house doesn't care. It's already learning my voice, and someday, when the next lonely person moves in, I'll whisper to them too. Is someone there?